Hey teachers, in this video I'm going to introduce you to your third major assignment, which are assessment rubrics. I'm in the assignments portion of Canvas now, and if you click on the assessment rubrics link, you're going to see that you can now download the assignment description and the assessment criteria. I've also given you a host of resources. So I've given you some additional rubric examples so that you can see some variation of some of the rubrics that we've looked at. I'm giving you links to a couple of rubric creation tools, which I'll talk about in a bit. And I have given you even more additional readings if you want to go beyond what Bean has talked about and what we've talked about in this unit. I'm not going to read the assignment description to you, but I want to clarify a couple things because there's a couple different steps in here, and I want to clarify what it is that I actually want you to submit to Canvas. So you're going to submit two rubrics. You're going to submit a sample text, so a text that you're writing a rubric for, and then you're going to write justifications. So let me unpack that a little bit so that there's some clarity there. The first thing that I'm asking you to do is you're going to create one holistic rubric and you're going to create one analytic rubric. So you're going to get some experience creating both types of rubrics. So let's talk a little bit about what you're actually creating a rubric for. Remember that your lesson plan for your technical style unit included 5 different stages, and one of those stages was the evaluation. There was some way that you were assessing that students had comprehended whatever technical style principle that you were teaching them. That could have been oral feedback, maybe in small groups. You might have given students a mini writing assignment. Whatever you picked, I want you now to create an assessment rubric that evaluates that knowledge. The second thing that you'll create a rubric for is some technical text type of your choice. So let me talk to you about what I mean by that. Some of you are working, for example, in industry, and you may have some internal report where you have to do some type of investigation and provide some type of recommendation to the readers. You might want to create a rubric for that you can use to create and edit these reports, that perhaps your coworkers who are also writing these reports could use, and then perhaps the manager or the level above you that maybe ensures quality control. Rubrics are used all over, not just to evaluate assignments. They're used in industry as well. Likewise, if you're currently teaching right now, think about creating a rubric for an upcoming assignment, maybe the final assignment in that course that's supposed to be kind of a cumulative of all the course content. The idea here is to do something that you actually could benefit from and get some use out of. Because of that, though, I'm going to actually need some example text so that when I'm looking at this rubric, I can actually apply it to a document. And so in addition to those two rubrics, I want you to also submit a sample technical text. So if you're doing that internal report rubric, just send me a sample of that internal report that you have. And again, feel free to redact or do anything that you need if this is a company document. I'm not going to share this with anyone, but I understand the privacy stuff. If you're using a student paper, just anonymize that, remove the student's identifying information. The point is that I just need a document that I can actually apply the rubric to. This is also really important because we're not just doing assessment here, we're doing authentic assessment. And for assessment to be appropriate and to work, you often have to create the tool for the specific type of documents that you're going to be evaluating. So one holistic, one analytic rubric, one for your style lesson and one for the text type of your choice. I don't care which is which in terms of which you choose to do a holistic rubric for and which you choose to do an analytic. You might find that your style lesson plan needs a holistic and the text type an analytic. You might find that you do the analytic for your style lesson plan and the holistic for the text type of your choice. It does not matter to me. The point is that you do two different rubrics on two different text types. In addition to all of that, I want you to just write a short justification, no more than 150 to 200 words, that justifies to me why you created the rubric in the way that you did, because you're going to find that you have a lot of choices. How did you pick your criteria? Why did you only pick maybe 3 criterion instead of 7? How did you set up your scale? Do you have a 5-point scale? Do you have a 3-point scale? Do you have just a binary 1-2 scale? You have a lot of options here, and that's why I've given you other examples. It all depends on the text that you're evaluating, the context that's being used, how efficient this is going to be in terms of managing your workload. So for example, if you have just a small in-class assignment as part of your style lesson plan, you might just want to do a 3-point holistic rubric. So again, think through your decisions here, and that's why I want you to actually create these assessment tools for real documents, okay? In addition to that, you're going to see here that I've given you links to websites called RubyStar and iRubric. These are online software tools that can actually help you create consistency in your rubric. So for example, here's the correspondence case rubric that you guys should be familiar with. I just created this in Word, but I've been creating rubrics for longer than I probably would like to admit. And some of these online tools can actually help you. For example, they can help you weight your categories if that's something that you choose to do, so that you know your stuff adds up to 100. They can help you organize your scales. Here, I've got 100 to 90, 89 to 80. You may find that you want to do something different. It can also help you create consistency and parallelism with your language. So let me talk to you a little bit about what that means here. If we look just, for example, at the organization scale for the correspondence case, you can see that superior is going to be very well organized. Well, you want to have that reflected in your strong category, but that's going to be well organized. Decently organized is competent, poorly organized is weak, and then unorganized is going to be incompetent. And you can see there that organization is now represented equally across all 5 categories. Some of these softwares can help you kind of create that internal consistency and parallelism with language that really makes a document rubric effective. Another reason why I'm asking you to actually select real documents is because ideally I'd like you to actually apply these things. Have a friend or a neighbor try to assess a document using your rubric. That's going to really help you work out the bugs and make effective assessment tools. So again, you've got access to a whole host of resources. If there's any confusion or you want to run something by me, again, do not hesitate to email me. If you want more readings, I'm happy to do that. I am a bit of an assessment nut, and so I have a lot to say on assessment. So let me know if there's anything I can do to help.